So how can you start living a more sattvic lifestyle? Remember that in Indian philosophy, sattva equals holiness. And so the qualities of a sattvic life include virtuous behavior, cleanliness, and purity. The sattvic lifestyle helps you be more calm and have even emotions. The sattvic lifestyle leads to stability and routine, and it also should have a strong spiritual component. Beforehand, I also want to note that the sattvic lifestyle is designed to help a person lead an ascetic life. And depending on your lifestyle and your constitution, this may or may not be ideal. But otherwise, how do we encourage these fine qualities? Let's get started with some lifestyle tips, and then we'll move on to food and diet. First of all, wake with the sun. Dawn is considered to be the most sattvic time of day, and sleeping in late increases tamas. Have a strong daily routine. Include drinking warm water when you wake up, oiling your body with an oil massage, particularly using a sattvic oil like Brahmi oil, and also doing nasya, which is cleansing and refreshing to the mind. Have a daily routine that includes exercise and a spiritual practice. Maintain high standards of personal hygiene, scraping your tongue, using showering and bathing each day, using natural soaps, and using soap sparingly. We don't want to destroy our whole microbiome on our skin. Wear clean clothes every day. Your eating habits should be only 1 to 2 meals a day if you are following a sattvic lifestyle. Remember, a sattvic lifestyle is ascetic. You would eat your main meal of the day at lunchtime and only light food in the evening if you're having a second meal. Eat mindfully and intentionally if you're trying to be sattvic, and only eat when you're hungry. If you're trying to be sattvic, avoid any eating practices that create ama, including incompatible food combinations. Always have freshly prepared homemade food, and avoid processed food and takeouts. Maintain a work-life balance where you don't push yourself past your limits, and do work that fulfills your mission or purpose. Don't gossip. Get to sleep by 10 p.m. Do panchakarma, or cleansing, at every seasonal change. And also, surround yourself with beauty and pleasing fragrances. What about a sattvic diet? Sattvic diet includes all foods that enhance the quality and quantity of life, including the foods that strengthen and revitalize. By quantity there, I mean length of life. So foods that strengthen and revitalize you. Foods that improve mental calm. Foods that evoke a loving nature and that support your health. Generally, you want foods that are easy to digest and absorb, and here's a picture of khichdi. Foods that provide energy and nourish the body without taxing the GI tract too much. You want food that leads to happiness, clarity, and lightness, instead of drowsiness or heaviness. And again, here you see the focus on asceticism here. Heaviness can be desirable for some constitutions, such as my constitution. I tend to be more vata, so the heaviness is good for me. I don't follow the sattvic diet because it is a bit ascetic. Your foods need to be heavy enough to stabilize the body and not cause a blood sugar level crash, because that wouldn't be sattvic. Generally, a sattvic diet should be the diet that encourages the perfection of rasa dhatu, or the blood plasma. And so some of the goals of the sattvic diet I do implement in my life, but I try not to eat foods that are too light. Ideally, sattvic food should be full of prana. They should be juicy and also unctuous and prepared with care and love. Foods that are high in prana are going to increase your vibrancy. Foods with more sweet taste are going to help you stay calm. And bitters such as bitter greens and a vegetarian diet can help a person be more detached, one of the goals of sattva. Fruits are generally considered sattvic because they're a gift from the tree. In other words, you don't have to kill something to eat it. When you eat an apple, you're actually helping the tree by spreading its seeds. And so eating fruits is considered to be nonviolent. And some of the fruits listed here that are especially considered sattvic are mango, pomegranate, coconut is a nut, figs, peaches, and pears. Some vegetables that are considered to be more sattvic are like sweet potato, satisfying but still light. Lettuce and greens in general help with detachment. Parsley too. Sprouts are full of prana. Yellow squash, a little more satisfying but very light. And asparagus, also very light. Grains in general are calming, and so they're recommended on the sattvic diet. Beans are cleansing, so they're recommended, and especially mung dal, because it's also easy to digest. Dairy is considered sattvic. Well, for one, cows are holy in India, and two, milk is a gift of love from the cow. It's supposed to be for the cow's baby, but nevertheless, you don't have to kill the cow to get the milk. And fresh cow's milk, fresh goat's milk, fresh homemade yogurt, fresh cheese are all considered sattvic. Nuts and seeds are considered sattvic, especially soaked and peeled almonds, by the way, because they're very calming and cooling. Sweeteners like raw honey or fresh sugarcane juice. Fresh sugarcane juice, by the way, is very different than refined sugar. Fresh sugarcane juice is a whole food. Ghee is considered to be very sattvic, and again, ghee is the cow is sacred in India, so anything that dairy is considered very sattvic. Saffron is considered very sattvic, but also some of these other spices like cardamom, fennel, fresh ginger, and turmeric. Meats are generally avoided because the sattvic diet is a strictly vegetarian diet. Although some people will eat freshwater fish, it contradicts ahimsa or nonviolence. And saltwater fish is always avoided because salt stimulates desire, which is rajasic. Beverages can be clean water, homemade almond milk, or fresh vegetable juices, or milk itself. You basically want to avoid foods that are rajasic and tamasic, including foods that make you very passionate aggravate rajas, and that includes very spicy foods and fermented foods. A lot of your aphrodisiacs are considered to be very rajasic. Raw garlic, raw onion, chili peppers. I think that's a habanero there, which is very spicy. And then the tamasic foods are those that are heavy foods or even leftovers. What you want instead are digestives that can kindle Agni and increase lightness in the body. You want herbs that clear the mind, such as Brahmi. I think of Brahmi as, very ethereal because I'm Vata, so it aggravates my mind. But anyways, sattvic herbs for the mind can help clear the mind. And here we see some examples. Brahmi ghee, tulsi, vacha, and nasya. Your adaptogens that reduce stress and improve focus and strengthen the mind, your brain tonics, are considered sattvic. So ashwagandha, amalaki, bala, chyawanprash, and shatavari. Your blood cleansing herbs are sattvic because they balance your blood chemistry. Alteratives. Your nourishing tonics like shatavari, ashwagandha, and lotus root are sattvic. And any kind of beautiful fragrances like rose, jasmine, or gardenia. Gardenia is literally my favorite fragrance. So thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed learning about sattva.